fellow merfolk and merfolk to be. My name is Faith, and today I'll be reviewing the tail I got sent from Planet Mermaid. Planet Mermaid is a UK-based company that recently started making their own collection, their Merplanet collection, of scale-printed tails with an open-bottom fluke and their own monofin. These tails are really only meant for kids or people who would fit into a kid size like myself, my 5'0" body. So, like all my other mermaid tail reviews, I will be reviewing it on cosmetics, comfort, durability, customer service, and performance. So here we go! So for the cosmetics, I'm giving this tail a 9 out of 10. Just the design, this watercolor design, it's incredible! It's like one of the most unique designs I've ever seen on a tail. I just love the details with all the little specks and the yellow/green colors. There is a decent amount of contrast so that you're able to tell that yes, these are mermaid scales. It kind of looks sort of fishy. And one thing I really like is the fact that this pattern is not repeated. You could tell sometimes with a fin fun or suntails, you can kind of see that there's lines. See the same scale over here and here and here and here. But not with this one. You could tell it's one whole tail that was designed, which is so cool. And the fluke lines are really awesome. It's like this really neat blended color. The transition between the scale body and the fluke is pretty basic. There's two different parts and they've sewn it together. One thing about this is that it is slightly see-through because it is printed on white fabric. One thing that I haven't actually talked about in any of my other reviews, but I think is kind of an interesting part of tails, is how the seams line up. So we have our front and our back of the tail, and of course on one side and the other side there's a seam. This one I'm quite impressed with the transition. It's very hard to tell that there's a seam right there. And with the stitching, it's stitched together beautifully. There's no mistakes. It's all very, very finely crafted. Alright, and we're moving on to comfort. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. So the monofin is a very comfortable monofin. It's your basic plastic fin with neoprene and foot holes. It's pretty comfortable on me. I'm not getting any foot cramping and my feet aren't really rubbing together, which I find awesome. They're very tight in there, which is good, but it's nothing that's causing a lot of discomfort. As well, the tail, it is very tight on me. I don't really feel any discomfort in my ankles, thighs, or anything, which is good. And even though this is an elasticated waistband, I'm not feeling it digging into my stomach or anything, which is super awesome. So I'm moving on to durability. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. Now about this tail, it is just one long piece of printed swimsuit. There's no added sparkles or anything, which is good because that means that there's less texture to rub off. I'm seeing a little bit of pilling, but nothing too drastic. It's a pretty good fabric that they've made this with. So the durability for the tail is pretty good. With this neoprene monofin, I've just noticed a little bit of the stitches kind of being pulled here at the side, but that does happen with most monofins that are built like this. It's just a given fact when you have a neoprene foot cover and pockets, they're gonna stretch out and eventually not be very helpful. Very long, tall foot pockets here I think will help combat that because there's a lot more fabric and a lot more elasticity in these. So for customer service, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. They're a super awesome company and their website is just amazing. It's so well laid out. It's really easy to find what you want to buy. As well, they have it in different currencies, so I'm actually able to see what this tail will cost in pounds and Canadian dollars and US dollars. I was actually impressed with how fast it came to me. They ship them using Royal Mail, and Royal indeed. I was able to track it effectively and it came to me in about a week. And also adding on to the shipping fact is that if you're in the UK, they ship it for free and it's like, I think 2 to 3 business days. So now for the performance, I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. So again, this is a kid's mermaid tail. It's not going to be as powerful in the water as other monofins and other tails. The fin looks pretty small compared to my other ones. It doesn't really give as much propulsion just because it's got a smaller surface area, even though it's made of pretty much the exact same material. To speak for myself, I do actually have hips, so it was a tiny bit of a struggle getting it on up onto my waist, but other than that, it was pretty good. Now, one thing that is super cool about this monofin is the fact that inside the monofin, they're like these little bumps that enable you to help grip onto the monofin a little more effectively. And Planet Mermaid did request for me to make a little tutorial video on how to take the monofin off, which I will show you here using the quick release method. So for your monofin, what you need to do is you press down your toes and pull out your feet. When I have my full mermaid tail on, I like to pull it down about halfway so that my legs can wiggle around a little more. Once your feet are out, you can either pull it all the way down or just swim right out of it depending on how tight it is on you. My approach to things are practice taking off the monofin in dry land, practice taking it off in the water in like the shallow end, and then add your tail and practice taking the whole tail off in the shallow end where you can touch, and then once you're feeling comfortable with that, go into swimming in like open water or in the deep end. And as always, before you consider buying a tail for yourself or your child, make sure you know the proper swimming skills. I have a little demonstration video of how to do in my last one, courtesy of my friend Trevor, who is also a lifeguard. So my grand total for this mermaid tail is 46 out of 50. That's a 92%. That's an A. I think that's a really accurate grade for this tail. I am absolutely in love with this tail. The craftsmanship is just incredible. It was a bit of a squeeze getting into it, and the monofin isn't exactly proportionate to me and the amount of swimming that I'm doing it, but I think it's perfect for kids. It's really easy to use, really easy to take on and off. So thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like my face or the fact that I do thorough product testing reviews and would just much rather see pretty mermaid tail swimming, give it a thumbs down. Comment below any other questions you have about this mermaid tail or any other products you would like me to review in the future, and I'll do my best. Subscribe if you haven't already to see my never-ending stream of reviews. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye! Planet Mermaid is a UK space... This is my process all the time,
Go
Megan.
on.